Hello, we are grateful and excited to introduce our cutting-edge, proven, and ready for the market drone-as-a-service solution. The problems of farmers in Brazil are similar to those of producers in the state of New York. Precision agriculture has brought a new technological era for the control of pests and disease, but it's not largely available to small farmers, mainly because of its high costs. Farmers still need to rely on their crop specialists who has limited statistical data and to analyze the health of their crops, and with the added necessity to maintain heavy and slow to relocate equipment that can stand idle in the winter and can damage their crop and soil operation. Applying pesticides is a complex and risky task, but that's still a basic need in our society. The use of finite resources, such as water, is a major concern to the world. Agriculture plays a fundamental environmental role where farmers are forced to apply costly chemicals across their entire farm, although weeds only reach part of the farm. Applying inputs in a conscious and localized manner generates a better future for the planet and brings economical savings for the farmers in the present. To solve most of these problems, ARPAC provides service with our own drone developed for agriculture, an innovative and proven solution. We can apply chemicals to the total area of the farm or locate infestations through combined imagery and artificial intelligence. We also release biologics, a new technology that is growing worldwide. Each application is completed with the same drone that has a modular design and a customizable application payloads that can serve individual profiles of farmers with different needs. One example of innovative service that ARPAC provides is the localized application. This is done by first performing an imagery flight to identified infestations, shown here within the yellow lines, and then applying only where necessary, demonstrated with the green lights generated from our application report. Our operator drives to the field and the drone flight is all automatic, preventing contact during the operation and guaranteeing the quality of application with fully adjustable parameters. So what's the innovation? Our drone is specifically made for agriculture, and our strategy is to deliver on-demand services with technological solutions, transforming the drone into a powerful problem-solving tool. And how do we charge for it? We work with two customer profiles, B2C, acquiring local customers, and B2B, where we seek to close long-term contracts. In the B2C model, the charge is per area flown after the service is completed. In the B2B model, the established contract will define the terms and conditions of operations and payment. By servicing both types of customers, the hub has a high revenue recurrence alongside high service availability to farmers. But why do we talk about a hub? A hub exists to reduce logistical costs and ensure the accessibility of customer service. We select a city as a base, we train an operator, we provide equipment, and look for customers within the radius of the hub. B2B contracts will also be served by this hub. As an innovative solution, it is important to understand what's already been used in the market. That's why we compare our drone and service model to Chinese drones manufacturers, tractors, crop dusting airplanes, and bag spraying, regarding their ability to address the main problems identified in the industry. It is easy to see our competitive advantage when compared to current practices and technologies. In Brazil, we have been validated by two global giants. In the point of view of BASF and Raízen, a Shell joint venture, our solution both enhances the application quality and benefits the weed control timing, which reflects in cost reduction. In short, ARPAC is a company specialized in application technology that reduces spraying costs up to 65%. We provide drone as a service. Our business model is our greatest innovative that eases the adoption of this technology. Now, Juliana is going to explain how our company and experience in Brazil will translate in the state of New York.
Thanks, Edu. When I first started my internship with ARPAC in 2017, we flew 3,200 acres that successfully validated our drone technology. In 2018, we completed our chemical payloads and flew 12,000 acres. We tested our hub model in 2019 with our partner Taranis, consisting of 4 hubs and 48,000 acres of imaging. We will end 2020 flying over 300,000 acres, of which I already flew 20,000 acres in our first operations in the United States. I was ready and flying orders in Indiana just 3 weeks after the initial call from Taranis USA. That included 2 weeks of quarantine. Our expansion into the US must begin by regulating our chemical operations with the FAA. At the same time, we can begin manufacturing our drone and market to local farmers and distributors. In 2022, we can officially begin operations and gradually grow regionally and nationally. In 2021, we will also service our Taranis partnership with 15 operators. To achieve our expansion goals, we will need to establish a manufacturing base with a reliable supply chain from the Grow New York region. I've contacted and solicited quotes from Cameron Manufacturing and Horseheads to produce all of our aircraft components and equipment. Sermotech in Rochester can manufacture and assemble our electronics, and Dragon Plate in Elbridge can produce our carbon fiber propellers. We will work closely with Cornell University to validate our application results from Brazil and begin applied research with the new crops available. We will be based at MASS in Painted Post and complete aircraft assembly and flight testing. Our manufacturing base will supply all of our US operations, from our confirmed operations in the Midwest to a variety of potential states we can expand to. They are depicted on the map based on priority from the USDA statistics in plant export, in which dark green states have a higher value than light green. To attend to market opportunity, ARPAC will build a US team that includes agricultural and technical engineers. Within each operational hub, we will hire 1 in-field operator with regional support from maintenance technicians, logistic coordinators, sales and marketing personnel. The degree of our regional impact depends on the level of prize money. With $1 million, ARPAC can create up to 52 direct jobs and sustain up to 49 indirect jobs within our supply chain over the course of the 5 years. We will be capable of producing up to 42 drones, which establishes 42 operational hubs that can collectively attend to 220 farmers per month. The use of funds will be divided into working capital, engineering, marketing and sales, and manufacturing costs. With the Grow New York region's support, we are preparing to dive into a significant agricultural spraying market. When considering only New York State crops, there's $230 million in the obtainable market. When accounting for all US agricultural lands, the addressable market rises to $7 billion. When considering the world's potential, the total market reaches $92 billion. Our team is led by Eduardo, with 15 years of experience in the aviation and drone industry, who is the CEO and founder of ARPAC after suffering a crop dusting aircraft accident. Daniel serves as our CFO, and Inyu leads the technical team as CTO. Luca and Lau are in command of the engineering teams for hardware and software maintenance and innovation. Anna and I lead operations, with her agronomic imaging experience and my education from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in drone operations. If established in New York State, our Grow New York mentor, Richard, can continue to guide us throughout the region. We can solicit advice on automation systems from Mata and count on Derek at Cornell University, who has already connected us to local farmers and researchers. My alma mater and previous professors can continue to advise best aviation practices with their 80 years combined experience. ARPAC's established advisors, Mitsuru, Francisco, and Roberto, will continue to advise us throughout our expansion. Established in 2014, at the birth of the drone industry, ARPAC is continually growing operations. Our innovation is rooted in our product, but enhanced by our services that focus on reducing spraying costs with precision application. Our novel business model facilitates farmers' adoption and creates significant jobs in New York State. We have 2 application patents and a dedicated team boasting a combined 80 years experience in agricultural drones, alongside advisors with 175 plus years. We hope you welcome us to the Grow New York region to support local farmers with our innovative technology services. Thank you.
Great job, ARPAC. Hello, Eduardo. Hello, Juliana. So we have our judges. We have 10 minutes for Q&A. First up, we have Pravina Raghavan. Got to unmute though, Pravina.
All right, there you go. And technology will finally work for me. Okay, maybe we need to get a drone to help me do that. Anyway, good afternoon. So you said something about FAA applications, so I just wanted to understand a little bit more about that. What approvals are you seeking from the FAA?
We have to get our Part 137 license. This is to do chemical operations with drones. In reality, it's to do it with any aviation aircraft. And alongside that, all of our operators will need to have their Part 107 license. With the Part 137 license, all of our operators will be trained and covered within this license for the company.
Great. You may not be aware, but Central New York, I'm proud to say, has one of the few FAA testing sites in the country. So just, which leads me to my next question. How do you propose to get traction in New York State? I know there's a lot of farms and you had kind of touched on that, but I'd really like to hear what are your thoughts about, coming in as a new entrant from a foreign country into New York State?
I think the best way that we'll do this is how we do it here in Brazil. To reach our B2C clients, we will be using social media and going to expositions and field days. For our B2B contracts, we'll hope to continue the partnerships and the contracts that we have here in Brazil, which comprise of Corteva, which is a joint venture with DuPont, Raizen, which is a Shell venture, and BASF. With their support, we can continue to grow here as well.
That's great. And final question. So if I understood correctly, you want to do you're going to work with manufacturers in the southern tier part of the state, and you've already identified them, and create and manufacture the drones in New York State and then deploy them out. I know you already have the partnership in Indiana and deploy them out. Is that right?
Yes, you've got it right. So we'll establish our supply chain in the Grow New York region, and those suppliers will make all the pieces that are necessary for our drone. And then our U.S. team of engineers and agronomical researchers, they will test the drone, they will assemble it, and they will get it ready to fly throughout the United States.
All right, great. I'm going to pass it on to my fellow judges. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Pravina. Andrew, I think you're up next.
Indeed. Congratulations. It's exciting. Obviously, this is an emerging yet crowded space that you're moving into. And the Part 137 is just one of the first steps you're going to need to go through with the FAA if you want to start looking at swarm technology and have more than one drone out there with one operator. That's a whole nother level of certifications you need. But back to Pravina's question there, I just want to understand, what is the basis of your company? Are you a drone manufacturing company? Are you a spraying company? If someone wants to set up their own business providing spraying services to the agricultural community, are they an employee of yours? Is this a contract? Who owns the drone? Can you just kind of walk through what that looks like? It's a little convoluted in my head.
Yeah, sure. So thank you for the question. And about that, it's important to state our innovation to explain how do we work. So our innovation is composed of two parts, our drone and the business model. So we build the drone specifically to solve the problems faced by farmers when spraying chemicals. And we offer the tested equipment that can be customized for farmers for the different application needs. So when we compare ourselves to Chinese drones manufacturers, they build a generic drone in which the nozzle and the agronomical parameters are the same. We deliver tested and trusted agronomical results. About the business model, which is your question, the average use of a drone is around 2 or 3 times per year when you look to the farmer. So the concept of having an individual farmer buying a drone, obtaining a drone operator licensing, and learning how to operate becomes more of a trouble than a benefit. So we provide a reliable and complete service because we are the specialists with the experience in the entire operation. Then what we do is we deliver a complete service to the farmer. And if we think of who is going to buy the drone, the idea is we operate in a business model like a franchise, and then we would train this person and they will be our operator, attending the B2C customers and also the B2B customers we have inside that hub. So the main idea here is finding people inside the hub and then providing services to farmers.
Okay, so the liability would be transferred over to the operator then at that point. So if the drone missprayed something or God forbid crashed into a cell tower or something like that, that liability would be on the operator, not you?
Yeah, the responsibility from operating is from the operator. But of course, we do set all the parameters, and this is important to guarantee our great agronomical results. So, and how do we translate that into the operation? Building parameters and building procedures. So all our operators are trained to operate following our procedures, and then they guarantee the quality of application. But the liability, so they are the ones responsible for operating the drone.
Fantastic. And I read in your application that you have a patent filed in Portuguese right now. Where are you in putting that into the American system for patent protection?
Yeah, we are still we still have the date to applicate to United States, one of these patents, and they both relate to the disposable of biological inputs, which we've shown in the presentation. And so the way we dispose these biologics in the field with a capsule and the dispenser of these capsules, these are the patents that we have here, and we still have time to apply for the United States.
Good. And my last question before I pass the microphone to my other judges is, can you compare and contrast your business to Rantizo, who is getting a lot of the headlines lately for the same space that you're moving into?
I'm not sure if they operate with these drone services.
They do. They just got the first FAA license for swarm technology for drone sprayers. And they're well established in the Midwest and Upper Midwest. That's fine that you don't know, but I was just curious what differentiates you from them, and where do you see your competitive advantage?
Yeah, but that's a good question. Do they provide the service or they sell the drone to a farm? Do you know that?
I'm not positive. It's just one of these companies that's in the last few years gotten a lot of positive traction.
Okay.
And with that, I'll let you guys do a little more digging on them. And then with that, I will pass the microphone back over to my judges. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks so much. So Mary, you're next up. Mary Shellman.
Right. Thanks. It's really interesting. I met the founder of XAG, the Chinese drone company, back about a year ago in Singapore. And this whole area of using drones in applications is really, really fascinating to me. I guess I want to dig in more to that sales process, when you go to the farmer, and think about particularly the U.S. farmer, where you've got a lot more individuals out there. Or in Brazil, often you have these very big farms, and so you can make these big decisions. But here, so how do you, kind of convince this person to try this for the first time? And the second piece of it is kind of what could go wrong? Are there any blockers out there? Like, the folks that already are spraying chemicals using their own equipment, or the farmer that has its own sprayer to do this, kind of what's that process look like of convincing somebody to switch over?
That's a great question. The best way that we do that here and hope to do it in the United States is through POCs, which are proof of concept. We'll work directly with Cornell. We've already contacted a few researchers, and they're excited to validate our technology and help us connect us to local farmers. That's one of their motives as well, is to get farmers accustomed to new technology that will help the work that they're doing. So by working closely with them, we'll hopefully ease their tensions and get them more acclimatized to what we're doing and feel comfortable. As for replacing current application methods, we don't try to compete where we don't excel, but where we do excel, we know what we're doing, we know what we have, our cost savings, and that's what we're hoping to help the farmers, is to give them the solution that they need and that makes sense for them.
Right. Okay. Just a little word of wisdom. U.S. farmers aren't always convinced by these university research trials or other research trials. So you just might look into that and understand that a little bit more when you move forward into coming into the U.S.
Sure, yeah. We also have no problem with doing demonstration flights and doing work closely with the farmers so that they feel comfortable with us and know what we're here to do.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Great job, guys. Great job, ARPAC. Thank you, judges.